Hi guys, today I am going to be making conveyors and other player interaction blocks in Minecraft. To do this, I'm going to use command blocks. If you already know what command blocks are and how to get them, skip to later in this video. But for those who don't, let me show you. Normally, you can use / give an S command block to get a command block. But if you don't want to do that, it does take time. You can turn this on in settings, operator utilities, and it gives you everything like lights. You see light stuff used to make light in Minecraft. Paintings. These are just Easter eggs. Test blocks, and these are used for testing and making mods. A debug stick that is used to change the states of other things. And a barrier blocks a player. A structure void is used for this, a structure block, which saves and loads structures that you build. This, when you place this down, instead of setting something to ear, like it would normally do when you save ear, instead it will just keep the thing. This is a jigsaw block used for making structures, randomly generated. And then these are the minecart command blocks. These are the ones that I like to use. You can get a repeating by using repeat this command, and you can get the chain using this command, and you can get the impulse using this command. Okay, and now what each of these do. The impulse is when it is powered, the first stick. Chain is when the one previous to it is powered, and it is powered. And then a chain a repeating command block is when every ticket is powered, it will run. Then there are different settings, unconditional and conditional. Conditional is it checks the one behind it, and as long as that outputs true or is done, but unconditional, it just doesn't matter. Then you have needs redstone are always active. Needs redstone, it needs a power source, but always active, it just runs automatically. So those are the three types and the settings. You just type the command in here. So let's make conveyors. So the block I will use as a conveyor will be this: a magenta glazed terracotta. And I'm using this block because, as you can see, it has arrows that can point in different directions. And I really like that, because you can see where you're gonna go. So let's get started. We will need to check if we are standing on one, but we will also need to check what direction it's pointing to see if we should go that way. Okay, so I'm going to do this using a repeating command block for north, which will go one way, then east, so north, east, south, west. Then it's helpful to use signs. So this is north, east, south, west. Okay, so how do we check if it's pointing north, east, south, or west? Well, we use this command, /execute. This is a fundamental command for command block and commands in general, because for everything you that needs if or unless or a player's coordinate or anything else, you will need /execute mostly. But so let's get started with the commands. Execute if execute as at. Okay, so at A, this would mean that all players go, or all players are affected, but at E will mean all entities are affected. And of course you can put as long as it isn't, or type equals item. No, okay, equals item. That's good. Alright. At D. So then you can say if. Wait. So what as does, it runs as the entity, but what at does is it runs at the entity. So at s, meaning self. And then it runs if block squiggly squiggly squiggly. This would mean at where I am standing, at my coordinates, but then we have to put -1 right here, meaning below the player. Then we have to check if it is a magenta. Glazed terracotta. And if it is, you wait, facing north. And then this is where you put where it's facing. Then you would have to run TP at us. But so if this is Y, then what do I put here and here? So let's check. You can turn on debugging by pressing F3. And then you can check which way am I facing. Oh, so this way is north and it's toward -Z. So north is -Z, east is +X. So south positive z, east positive x, and then you can go back to the command. So it's x, y, z, and of course north is negative z, so -1 for z. And then east, well, that's basically just the same thing. Control C, Control V, but we have to change what it is. East will be +1 here for +1 y. Hold on. I'm sorry, the music was bugging me a bit. So this is south. So south will be the opposite of north, which is positive d. Hold on. Let me double check something. So this was north, right? Negative z. Hold on. So you have to double check your commands every now and then. And if you don't, it could cause issues. And then this will be this. So let's put the lever here, just to make sure we can turn it off and on. And turn it on. Let's test this. Seems like it's going the wrong way. And this isn't even going anywhere. Okay. So this, I forgot to put west here. Okay. And now this should, knew it. Meaning this actually has to be 1. -1. -1. 1. I guess these are flipped. So now, if I go on here, we made conveyors. Now you can make cool tracks with these conveyors. And then to turn, you just have to go a different way. But when I made this for the first time, I found an issue. What if someone wanted to make this? A track that went through itself. Well, of course, you can't do that. You would just get stuck in a loop. So, what I did was took an observer. And observers also have arrows on them. Maybe a bit harder to put on. But what if you took this and made it go twice as far so it could jump over that track? Okay, well, to do that, we could just copy all of this and put it up 1 and make a new one for observers. So let's do that. But instead of copying all the code and then changing it, we could also hold Control, and then for most people it would be middle mouse button, and that will give you a command block. But this is different. This has a warning. That's because it has code already in it. So you can just change this code. For example, from Glacier Cutter to in Minecraft River. I didn't have to do that, but I did anyway just to show you. I just Control C. If you press the middle mouse button without pressing Control, you just get the item that you're looking at without the same MBT to do. Okay, so observer facing north. Hold on. I would like to check to make sure that you're north. No, you're north. No, you're north. Okay, and if you're facing north 2, replace that one with 2. -2 actually for here. And east. Yeah. Then +2. -2 for here. Or south. I hope I'm doing this right. Let me check. Yeah. 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 So just change the 1 to a 2. No. -2. This is west. Let's check that. Boom. So now the track is complete. Get on here. And boom. Exit here. And if you wanted to add more there, you could also grab a block like an oak log and just make something like this. An oak log where you can go this way or forward or this way. But if you wanted to block a decision like I did, this one, you just make it push them back. Push them back. Then you can't go this way, but you can go this way, or if you wanted, you could go this way. So a choice. And you could add like a small sign, like McDonald's, and then this is not McDonald's. I don't know. So you can go here, or you can go here. So if you wanted more things, you could just add them onto here. You could add direction things, or you could just add basic things. Like right here, you could just have a bunch of basic other things like execute if as at s if block use quickly minus 1 squiggly is, let's say, red a a red glazed terracotta, then one, let's say Q at S. Okay, now I'm just gonna take a chest. Swap. Put all my stuff away, because I might do this if I don't. And then red. Here. If you go to McDonald's. Boom. Don't go to McDonald's or go to McDonald's. Why isn't it? Oh, hold on. Of course, I didn't put on the lever. Wait. Oh. Now, if I turn you on, dead. So you can make like quizzes. For example, an observer here and something blocking your way of seeing, and here. And you would have to choose the correct answer to a question. Or you could make other stuff. Okay. So let me just grab all my stuff back. Another thing you might want to add is something that just damages you. So let me just make that real quick. I'm gonna use a wood cutter. How do you spell? Hold on. No, that's not what it's called. Stone cutter. And then a stone cutter. Then run image at S. Now, if we, for example, spawn a chicken, okay, no, hold on. No. Let me just get this stone cutter. Stone cutter. Wait. This should actually be like this because you can stand on it. Boom. You can also add modifications, like as long as the type not an item, so that whenever you run, oops, hold on. Oh. Okay. Now, it doesn't give the item. Same here. If you excuse me, just boom. Well, I hope this taught you something, and I also hope to see you in the next video. I will put a bunch of timestamps and a map. Maybe not a map. I'm gonna put timestamps and a few commands down in the description in case you want to check them out. But for now, I'll see you in the next video.